Hello, this is Jay Johnson with Running Times, and I'm excited to introduce the Grant Green routine. So Grant Green is very similar to our last routine, which was the Cannonball routine. Now, Cannonball is named after Cannonball Adderley, and Grant Green is also a jazz musician. And the bottom line is these are very similar routines. Basically, Grant Green is a routine that is longer and more challenging, okay? So these first few exercises, donkey kicks, scorpions, what you're watching now, iron cross, it's the exact same exercises as you did in Cannonball, but as you'll see as we go through this routine, you'll be doing more reps, or you'll be doing simply more exercises than last time. And I want to be honest that I think this exercise, the lateral leg lift, is an elemental exercise for most distance runners. We really tend to be weak in the frontal plane, okay? And again, just laying on the ground, lifting your leg. You know, we have three different toe positions here: toe in, toe neutral, toe out. And all you're trying to do is basically strengthen your hip flexors. And then you flip over to the other side and do the exact same thing. Okay, so now that you've done those exercises, then you have to pop 5 Rockies. And this, folks, is an exercise that is definitely challenging. I don't expect you to be able to say, man, those Rockies were really, really easy. So, technically I refer to this as a cool down, but obviously when you're doing things like Rockies, there's a little bit of intense work in there as well. Donkey whips, we're not doing any more reps than we did in the last one. The reason we're only doing 5 reps is that this exercise is fairly challenging for most people. Now, in my mind, we've had Rockies and then we've had donkey whips, and now we go into something called the lower body crawl. Lower body crawl is easy. I mean, it's simple. It's just you're bringing your knee up to hip height, you're laying on the ground. It's very easy. So a lot of these we have something hard followed by something fairly easy. Now, here's the first difference in Grant Green relative to Cannonball. We go back and do 20 scorpions, okay? And I really think that the scorpion, where you're laying on your tummy and just trying to bring your hands your foot to your hands, or the opposite exercise, the iron cross, where you're going to lay on your back and bring your feet to your hands. These are just elemental exercises that I think are very important for all athletes, and it's a great way to just get a lot more work in. The reason we wanted to show this uncut, showing her doing every single rep here, is just to give you a feel for how long this workout takes. And honestly, it makes this video a little longer. It's a little harder to download this, but I think it's important that we show you in real time how long some of this would take. Now, we didn't show you the entire Grant Green. This I refer to it as a Grant Green cool down, but we're going to call it the Grant Green routine here because I don't want you to think of a cool down as something that's easy, okay? But as you can see, she's still doing the iron cross, right? I mean, there not only are the number of reps high, but this is just going to take a while to do this whole thing. Now you go into Australian crawl, and this is very simple. I mean, this I'm not trying to say that this is an exercise that doesn't have value or doesn't count, but there's nothing complex about it. You just lay on your tummy and you try and swim, okay? But the bottom line is you do a bunch of scorpions, you do a bunch of iron cross, you do the Australian crawl. That's a decent amount of work. Now, and again, we're showing this uncut. You go straight into the lateral leg lift. So in my mind, we've had 3 simple exercises. Now the lateral leg lift, when you're doing it in the pedestal style, is very challenging. So you do it on one side, you flip over, you do it on the other side, and again, part of the reason to show you how it's working here is to see that here's a strong athlete who's a little wobbly. I mean, this stuff is hard. This is not easy work. Okay, so then after that you go into groiners. So now we've had a challenging exercise with the lateral leg lift, or the pedestal style lateral leg lift. Go into groiners. That's really simple. Then we're going to do hurdle seat exchange. I decided to keep more of the reps in here in the video portion because I think you just need to watch this a few times to understand what's going on. It's very simple. The key part is right now she's laying on her tummy, okay? So at some point you have to basically lay down on the ground on your tummy, and then it'll be easier for you. All right, so we do hurdle seat exchange, and again, this, once you figure this out, this is just a nice general exercise. It's got kind of this stretching yoga component to it, where you should be able to feel your hamstring flexibility. If you're tight in your glute and the insertion of your hamstring, this exercise will show that to you. Okay, so then we go back into Rockies, and I know you're thinking, wait, I already did Rockies, but this is an intense, group of exercises compared to what most people would consider a cool down. I like to put Rockies in there for distance runners because I don't think distance runners need to do a lot of upper body stuff, but if you're going to do it, do something that's ballistic and more in the power orientation, not the general strength orientation. Okay, but the rest of this is just general strength. So now she's doing 50 Russian hamstrings, and I actually think we cut this, and she only maybe does 20 on each side. But bottom line is you just have one foot on the ground and you're trying to shoot your hips up into the air. It's very simple, and you should feel basically your glutes contract when you do this. This is an exercise that looks very simple, and it is. It's a very simple exercise to do, but you will probably be sore the following day. L-ups, this again, just watch a few reps of this. This is very simple. One important thing, make sure your neck and your back, your shoulders are in a nice, what I want to say, safe position. You don't want to roll up on your neck, okay? So keep your shoulders on the ground, shoot your hips up into the air, but make sure that your shoulders are staying on the ground. Then low level twist is actually a very simple exercise as well. Low level twist. Her feet are nice and high there. If you want to try and keep them a little lower, some people find that more challenging. It's just, kind of a personal preference thing. Okay, now we're doing all the same things we did in Cannonball. You just go to a fence. She's here next to a field goal pole on a football field, but just something that you can stand up to. The quick leg cycle is challenging, but then everything else, the hurdle trail legs forward, hurdle trail legs backwards, the various leg swings, these are all very gentle, general exercises. And again, I wanted to show all of this uncut, just to show the number of reps she's doing here are the same number of reps that we're asking you to do. This does not take a long time. Now, up to this point, all the stuff on the ground, that takes a while. But this is just kind of general flexibility. And for most of us, this is an unfortunate reality, but we're often driving to a track to do our track workout, okay? Drive to the track, do your warm-up, do your track workout, then you drive home. To me, this is the ideal type of work you want to do before you go back to your car, and hopefully you're only driving 10 or 15 minutes, but especially if you have to drive 30 minutes, you've run really hard and you want that hip girdle area neutral, and you want to do something that basically feels good to end your whole day with. So that's it. Grant Green.